This is the website we are going to be building, and it's a freelance portfolio website. If you are a freelancer, you work on Fiverr or Upwork, or you get your clients directly, you would be interested in such a website. Now you can see this is his name, Jim Rohn, and this is his picture. And when I hover my mouse over, you see it bubbles. And then you see his skill set. They are being displayed here. I'm a web developer. After that, I'm a web designer. After that, I am a cloud engineer. And this, you can meet him on social media here. Then you can see this beautiful border color. I decided to be innovative with this design. Most of what I do here, I've not seen it done anywhere on YouTube. So you can also see this section with his services. When you hover your mouse over, you see this overlay, this beautiful overlay. These are his services. And then this is his portfolio. These are some of the things he has done. This one is a mobile app, and it was done using Flutter. This one is a database. It was done using CSS. Just so you know, CSS is not used to build databases. It's used to build for styling. And then this is a web app. It was done using Python. This is a mobile app. It was done using, this should be Kotlin. This is a website. It was done using WordPress. This is a wireframe. Was done using Figma. And you can see all of that. Then here, you can see his experience. This is his education, this academic qualification, MSc, BSc. Then you see work experience too. We'll still have some work experience here. Then this is, if I click on this tab, it takes you to his skills. You see it's a progress bars, and it shows you how much proficient he is with every skill. And then these are experience now. These are the places he has worked. And then this is the testimonial carousel. Now, this is the contact page where you can get to him. You can choose your time here where you want to contact him. And then company size. You can just fill in your details and send a message. And this is the Google Maps location. You can put your location here, your coordinates, and get to him. And this is the beautiful footer. So you can see this is a cutting edge design. It's not been seen anywhere. It's not been done anywhere else. I'm the first person to bring up this design. So without much ado, let us go ahead with this project. To build a website, you need web hosting. Now, web hosting is basically where your website files are going to be sitting. And I have a discount code that is going to give you up to 84% for A2 hosting. The link is in the description of this video. If you use that link, you're going to get up to 84% discount on A2 hosting. Now, why should you get A2 hosting? Let's look at the plans. This is my focus here. It has a very, very good deal right now. $1.95 per month. That is an 84% discount. Let me click on this. And that's for shared hosting. So with the basic plan, which is Ignite, you save up to 84% discount. And you can host one website. You can host your website here. And you have up to 10 gigabytes SSD storage, security, site migration for free, core, automatic backups, performance tools, light speed. Now, A2 hosting for several years has always beaten Hostinger in terms of speed. I always recommend both. Just so you think I'm being biased, I've been recommending Hostinger, but I had to recommend this, especially because of this deal, and it's maybe going very, very soon. Now, if you click on this, you are going to pay $1.95 per month. If you choose this, you are going to be paying $3.95 per month. That's for the asset. That's 75% discount. This was previously $12.99, as you see here. And this was previously $15.99. I'll just click on Ignite. And it's going to take me here. Now you see, when you use that link, you get this discount, this promotion, this promo code is automatically applied, which gives you 84% rather discount. And you can put your information here, put all your information here. So you are going to be paying just $70. That's $70, which is, basically nothing when you compare other web hosting providers like Kickstarter charge a leg and a neck. So you just choose your credit card, and then you're going to pay the $70. So for the next 3 years, you are not bothering about web hosting. This 1.95 is even cheaper than Hostinger's cheapest plan. It's cheaper and it gives you more speed. So when you purchase, it's going to take you to the next screen and you will need to log back into your website. So when you come to the E2 hosting dashboard, you have to log in. So I'm going to log in now. I'm now logged in and I have some information here. What I want to do is that I want to click on cPanel login, and it's going to bring me this page. Now, when I look at this, if I come back to cPanel login, you see I have a lot going on here. I can open support tickets and blurt out my support pin. You can order new services too, but here is where the most of what you are needing is going to be found. If you purchase any domains from E2 hosting, you find them here. If you open any support tickets, you find them here, and you can find your invoices here. So I'm just going to come to the cPanel which I opened, my website, that is to my cPanel, and I want to search for domains. And I'll click on this first result. And then since we already have, this was already purchased when they were creating this account. If you wanted to add a new domain name, maybe you bought it from Namecheap, like the one which we just saw, you just click on create a new domain, and then you can add the domain name here, and then you can click on submit. On this account, I have access to just one domain name. So I've added this domain name here. The next thing I want to do is that I want to come to tools, come back to tools, and I want to look for Softaculous WordPress installer or apps installer. This is it here under software. And I want to choose WordPress. I don't want to use this WordPress E2 optimize and all these things. I don't want all of these. I want just WordPress. I want to have full control over whatever I'm doing. So this brings up my domain, since this is the only domain name on this website or on this hosting account. I could also choose if there were if you have a hosting plan with many more domains, you could just select here and choose the domain name you want. And then you are going to set your username and your password. I'm going to set a username and a password right now. I'm going to change the username and change the password. And then I'm going to install WordPress. I've set my username and my password already. So it's going to give me these options. Do I want to integrate backups, improve page speed, insights, email, SMTP, improve rankings and all that, language and all that? No, I don't want any of those. Email, installation details. I can choose to email these installation details to the owner of the website. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to add the email here and click the email of the owner of this website. I'm going to add it here, and then I'm going to click on install, and then I'll meet you on the dashboard. WordPress is now installing. So it's installing right now, and I'm told that it's been installed. So WordPress has been installed on my website. I can now go to the dashboard, the back end of my website. It's redirecting me. Immediately we are brought to this page, which is the dashboard. So you can go ahead and toggle off a lot of this. I'll come to screen options. I'll toggle this off. I don't want to see all of this. And then we go to post. We don't have any posts here except this hello world, which is a default post. If we look at it on the front end, this is what it gives us. So not much to behold. I want to also come down to appearance and go to themes. So we have this default theme 2024. It doesn't have a lot which we can use. We are going to use another theme. And if we come to plugins, we also don't have any plugins installed yet. First thing I want you to do is to come under themes. And I want you to click on add new. Then I want you to add a theme and search for Hello Elementor. This is it. You can search for Hello here, and it's still going to bring you Hello Elementor. You can choose to use Hello Elementor, or you can also choose to use Astra. Astra. This is another very good theme. It's one of the most popular themes on the WordPress ecosystem. I think I'll go with this. I'll click on install. And then I'm going to activate. So right off the bat, Astra asks us to install starter templates. You can go ahead and do it from here, or we can come under templates or plugins rather. And then I'm going to install this from here, but I want to show you how to install plugins. I'll click on add new. And then I want to search here for, first of all, The page builder we are going to be using is called Elementor. So search for Elementor. I'm going to install this. And then I also want to look for Elements Kit. Elements Kit, this is it. And then I also want to, as a matter of fact, when you install, we are going to use a template and then remove everything from it. It's going to install this by default. So we have these two. Let's just go ahead. And now this Astra starter templates, we can search for it here, or we can just click. If I search for it here, starter template, this is it. This first one, you can either install it here. You see when we install it here, this is not going to be showing again when we install and activate this. So I'm installing. It's reloading. Now you see it has installed and activated, and it's already taking us to choose a template. But we want to do some more work before we can do that. If I come under my dashboard, let me copy that link and I paste it here. I want to come to plugins. You see that starter template immediately installed and activated, but these two are still deactivated. If I come here and want to choose a template and I go for an Elementor template, I'm going to have issues because Elementor is installed but not active. So I want to come here, select both of them. If you wanted to activate everything, you can just click on this button by the plugin and you can select everything. But I'll just choose these two and bulk action rather. I want to activate and I'll apply. And so both of them are activated. But I'm going to use Elementor Pro version for this particular tutorial. I'll come back here now. And under is asking me to choose whether I want to use the AI website builder or whether I want to use the classic starter template. I don't want to use AI. I want to use the classic starter template. So I'll click on build with templates. It brings me here now. I can now select my page builder from here. So I'm going to select Elementor. I'm going to select Elementor from here. So it's going to present me with all the Elementor templates. I don't see them there. I'll just refresh the page. We now have the Elementor template here. We are not going to go far. I just want to have a template that I can use to give me the transparent header so we don't go through the stress of building that by ourselves. Already I see these three here. They have the transparent header, but this is an e-commerce template and this is just a basic template. So I'll click on this and it's going to show me a preview. So you can see this is a preview. You can see the header elements and then the button. I just want to continue, click on continue. If I had my logo, I will just add it here. For you to have a logo, you can just go to flaticon.com and you can download any logo from there. So this is flaticon.com. Now I'll come here and I'll just see tech, since this is the website for a tech freelancer, and I can select any of these logos here, any of these icons, and use it as my logo. I'll scroll and scroll and scroll, go to next page. So right off, I see this particular one and I want to use it. I'm going to click on that. And then I can edit this and change the colors. I'll click on edit icon and it's going to prompt me to log in. I'll just log in. Now that I'm logged in, I can click on this edit icon here. And then I can change these colors, all of these colors to white. So I want this to be a logo, a white logo with a transparent background. I'll click on download now and I'll choose never. I'll choose PNG and it should be 512. I will download that. So I've downloaded that. I'm going to use it now as my logo. So when I come here and it asks me for site logo, I'll click on upload files, come and select, and here it is. I'll upload that there. So that is that. That is my site logo. You can see it here. I can reduce the width. I want to make it a little bit smaller. Let's say 80. So that is 80. You can even make it a bit smaller. Mind you, we can change all of this later on. I'll click on continue. And then I want to select my color palette. I don't know if this is what I want to use. You could use this. It's going to change all the buttons to orange and that variation. And you can reset the palettes. And you can use this. You can also use this. You can use this. And you can customize the palette on the back end. So let's just go with this orange, or let's just say this green, this particular shade of green. And you can see even the overlay changes. If I go to blue, this purple, this overlay changes to something purplish. Let me just go with this purple. You can change it later on. And then when you click continue, it wants you to go with all of these. I'm just going to leave it as default. Any other thing, you can change it by yourself. Contact form and page builder are selected by default. You can just skip this step actually. I'll click on submit and build my website. I don't want to share any non-sensitive data. I don't want to share any data. Submit and build my website. It will take a little bit of a while, maybe up to a minute, and then you see a confetti effect, and then your website is going to be up. Now it's at 90%. So I think we are there. All right, so the website has been created. It asks me to visit view website. And this is it. You see our logo here, and then it is purple. The overlay is purple. We don't need all of this, so I'm going to delete all of these pages because it's going to be a single page scroll website. So if I now click on edit with Elementor, I can begin to edit my website. But before we edit with Elementor, I want to come to the dashboard, the back end, come to pages. I'll come to all pages. And then all of these other pages, I don't need them because it's going to be a single scroll website. All of these, I'm going to select them, bulk edit, move to trash. So that is that. For these, when we come back to the home page, I'll just skip this. I don't want to use Elementor AI. Then I can delete these. I'll also delete this. And then I'll delete this and delete this. I'll leave this for now. I'll leave this for now, so that when we build the first part, you're going to see how it looks. Now, the first thing we want to do is that we want to add a container. I'll click on here, Flexbox container, and it should be this. Having added this container, I'm going to come here and add another container inside. Now, I'm going to give this container a horizontal direction. And then I want to add another container inside and then duplicate. So I've added another container inside the container that is in another container. So there are 3 levels. I'm going to duplicate this now. And because I give it the horizontal direction, when I duplicate, the duplicate comes to the right of it and not under. So in this first container, I want to give a picture widget. So one image widget. I'm going to bring it here. Now, before I go ahead, I want to make this I want to adjust the width. I want it to be, let's say, 80. We could make it 80 or 90. Let's make it 80. So here, automatically, this one takes up the rest of the space. So we want to add a picture here. I'll click on this image widget and I'll come back to my files. Now, all of these are pictures that came with the theme. We can delete all of them later on, in order not to add bloat. But for now, we want to upload an image. So I'm going to come to this file and then I want to select one of these pictures here. I'll select this and upload it. Now that is uploaded, I'm going to add it inside. So this is the picture of the freelancer we are introducing to the world. And then we want to add some text here on this other side. So I'm going to click on plus, and I want to add a heading. And I want it to say, welcome to my world. Welcome, all caps, actually. Welcome to my world. So this is this, and I want this come to style, and I want it to be, let's see, it should be white or grayish. It should be somehow grayish because we are going to change this entire background to be black. And I want it to be, I want the size to be something like, let's see, 18. I want the width to be 400. I'm going to make the width to be 300. And then I'm going to leave it that way. First things first, I want to give this entire background color, this entire section the background color. So I'll click on these 6 dots, come to style and background type. I'm going to click on classic, and I want to give this a background color. Now for this, I'm going to click here, and I want to come to text typography. And you see I can edit the typography here, and I can also give it a global scheme. So when you click here, if I give it global font, what is going to happen is that whenever I add a heading or something of that sort, it's going to automatically default to that font. So let me click here on the settings. It's loading. So for the primary, I want to give it the font type just. I want to use just. And then the secondary, I want to make it, let's just see, we could use Poppins here. Poppins. And then the text should also be Poppins. And then for accent, I'll also use Poppins. And then I want to save changes. So whenever I add text, I can, decide whether I'm using the primary or whatever. So that is that. So here, if I close that out, when I now come back here, if I click here on this text and I come here, if I choose primary, you see it changes to just, but I want this to be secondary. I want it to be secondary. So now you see the changes there. That is now Poppins. I can now reduce the size to, let's see, 20. And the letter spacing, I want to increase the letter spacing. What about the word spacing? No, what I wanted to increase was the letter spacing, not the word spacing. I want it to be spaced out. So that is that. Welcome to my world. Now I want to add another text here. And I'm going to add a heading. When I add this heading, I can come to style. Now immediately it gives me, I want to say, hi, I am Jim Rohn. Just so you know, Jim Rohn was a popular motivational speaker. Now, I want to use a certain kind of text here where I can use, a different color for I am and a different color for the name. So with this, if I have to do this, I'm going to have to use CSS. But Elements Kit gives us this right off the bat. So I'll click here, and then I want to look for heading. So this heading, e-kit, elements kit, it gives us the ability to do that right off the bat. So I'll delete this, and when I click here, you see the title is, I'm going to say hi. Now I had to backtrack a little bit. I deleted this, what you see in braces, but it's actually important. Just remove what is inside and write the name. I'm Jim Rohn. Like I said, Jim Rohn was a very popular uh, um, motivational speaker. Now you can't see it here because it's black, but it's actually there. The text is actually there. So let's come to style, and we'll leave the alignment the way it is, the title. The color, first part we are going to make it white. The first part we are going to make it white. I'll open that again. No hover color. Typography, we'll make it just, and we want to make it to be, let's make it to be 70. I don't know if 70 is enough. Yes, let's make it 70 for now. The width should be 800. So that's quite large. And then for the focus title, which is what we have here, you can't see it now, but we can pick it from, if I change the text now to, let's say, red, you see it appears here. So I want to come back to this page, and I want to come to Astra. I want to come to customize. I want to come to global colors, and then I want to pick the hex code of this particular color. If I click here, I can pick the hex code from here. So I'll copy that, come back here, and I want to drop it here, paste. So you see we have this here, but I don't want to have this hover animation. So let me come back here, focus title. Focus, well, it's glitching a little bit, focus title. So the hover color here, I'll just click on it, and then I'm going to click on reset. So we don't have any hover now. Typography, I want it to be just, and then I want it to be, was it 80 or 70? Anyway, I'm going to leave it to be 80 as it is, as we see it here. Now, another thing I need to do is that I need to add another kind of text down, which is an animated text. So if I come back here and I search for animated, if I want to drag this, see animated headline, you see I can't do that. I can't do that. And why? Because it's an Elementor Pro feature. Now, at this point in time, I know what you're thinking. Wow, I thought everything was going to be free. Yes, it is free. You can leave that. You can leave this. But in general, I will advise you to get Elementor Pro. So I already have Elementor Pro installed. If I come back to the back end, not installed, but I have it on my website, on my computer. If I come back to the back end, come to add new plugin, click on upload plugin, choose file, it brings me here. This is Elementor Pro. I'll install that. It's installing. Now it's installed. Let me activate it. And then I'll come back to the front end, what I was building. I'll reload this right now. I'm going to reload this. So you see it's being reloaded. Now that is reloaded, if I search for animated, you see now that lock over it is no longer there. It means we can use it. So I'll drag this and put it down here. And I want it to see I am, first of all, it's going to say, now let me change the background. I'll just see I am. I am. And then the text, you can change the text to anything you want. So if I put here, I'll say I am a web developer, you see it does this animation and highlights it, and the shape is a circle. You can make it underline. You can also make it double. You can also make it double underline and all that. And then you can add a text after, says with 10 or 10 years experience. So you can do this, but this is not what I want to do. What I want to do is rotating text. Rotating text. So I will say I am a web developer. So I want to put text which is going to be rotating, and I don't want this after text here. So the first, I'm going to say web developer, and then I'll see web designer, and then I'll see cloud engineer. So you see the text is going to be rotating. After web developer, you have web designer. After that, you have cloud engineer. And then you can see software guy. So it is all up to you. And the duration here is 2.5 seconds. I'm going to make this 1.5. So it's faster. So you see how it appears there. You can even make it 1 second, or let's just say 1. You can make it 1 second. And then you can add text after this. For each of these, I'll put a full stop. You can even add an emoji there. So I'll come to style. So for the text, I want to make this to be white. I want to make it to be white. And then the typography again should be just. Or you can just come to typography and choose primary, which is just. And then just select the size. 51, or we'll make it 52, and then make it 70. That is just. And then for this rotating text, we'll use this color here. I'll come back. I don't know why I not copy it and paste it somewhere. I'll copy this. I'll come back here, and I want to use it for the animated text. I'll paste it there. So you see, it rotates and it shows the particular text we want to show. And then I want to add some text beneath here. I'll add some text there. I'm just going to paste this text here. And I want to make it white. And I want to make it text. But it should be white. So that is popping. So that is that for this particular aspect of the website. Now, one thing I want to do is that I want to add a container under here, which is going to show contact buttons. That's to get in contact with this particular person. So what I can do is I'm going to look for, can add a container down here. And then inside this container, I can see social icons. I can add social icons. These are social icons here. And you can make it square. You can make it circle. Or you can make them rounded. That's square with rounded columns. You can make it 5. You can make it 3 or whatever. So the alignment, I want it to be aligned to the left. And if I come to style tab, on this style tab, you can adjust the size. You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. It all depends on you. I can make it, let's say, 24 or maybe 22. Then the padding, I can increase the padding. So you increase the padding, then you can reduce the overall size. So it's going to make what is inside to be smaller. So I'll make this to be 20. And then the rounding of the corners, you can change that there. And then the icon hover. Now let's come back to these icons. You can make it the official color. You can use each of these as the official colors, or you can use a custom color. And then make the secondary color. Let's see, if we change the secondary color, we can make it to be this same color here. And then the primary color should be white. So we can do that for the others. We'll change it to custom color, white, and then this should be our main color. And we can do this also for YouTube. Custom color, primary color white, secondary color should be this. Now you can change this social media. Maybe you don't want Twitter. You can put here LinkedIn, very popular. I'll come to icons. I'll choose LinkedIn. And you can use this. I don't know how that looks there. Now, when you come to columns, make this 4, because we have 4 of these now. You can make this 4. And we can change this background to be something fainter if you like. Let's say you don't want it to be too white. You can make it something like this. That is all up to you. I'm going to leave it as it is. Now, one thing I want to do is that I want to give this picture a border. I want to give this picture a border. So I'll click here on the picture, come to style, come to border type. I'll make it solid. And then the width should be something like, here we can see 10. And then the border color, we can make it to be something like this. I can paste that there. So we have this border color. At the same time, we could have done this at the level of the container itself. We could have come to style, border, and then if we set border, we could make it solid. And then we could also have given it a border color here. But since we decide to do it here, now if somebody hovers over this, we want the border to change. We want the border to change so that if I hover over this picture, there is kind of an effect. But before that, I want to give this a transparency. I don't want it to be too thick. I want the border color to be faint. So I'll reduce the transparency to that. And then for hover, if somebody hovers over it, what should be the effect? What should be the color for hover? So let's say hover animation, you want to change it. Let's say make it to pulse or grow. So you see when somebody hovers over it, you see that effect there. And you can change the duration too. You can change the duration for that. You can also say pulse, which is that. And then you can also say pop. So, and you can also change the duration to be less or more. I'll just leave it 0 as it is. So you can put any, look at float. What about grow? I'm just going to use pulse. Yes, I'm going to use it this way. So I can also increase this border to be, let's say, 12. Now you can see the effect there. So that is that. And we can also give this a border radius so that it's not very squarish. You see it a bit rounded on the corners. Now what I want to do is that I want to give this a general padding and margin. I'll click here on top and I want to come and I want to give this a general padding and margin. General padding and margin of, first of all, 50 all round, and then we can grow this again, let's just say to 60 all round or 70 all round. Then now I want to give the top, I want to make the top to be about 100. 100 is too small. Let's make it 150 because it's going to flush the header. Now, and then the bottom should be 100. I'll go ahead and save and publish that. If I preview this on the front end, you see how it looks. So this is how it looks. Now I mistakenly gave a border here for this one, for the column. I didn't undo it. I'll come here, click here, border. I want to see none, no border. So if I come now and I reload, you see. So while this is doing its thing, you can see the border here. So what I want to do now is that I want to delete this section. I want to publish. I'll come now here and you can see all of this is on this background. So I think we are getting somewhere. We are really getting somewhere with this website. And you can make this a little bit smaller or picture to be painter. Now, one thing I want to do is that I also want to come here and copy this color. I want to copy this color. Then I want to come here. I want to give this entire section a border. This entire section a border. I'll come to style. And then I'll come to border. Border radius. I'm going to make this 10. Border type should be solid. And then let's see 15. And then I'll give this the color. I'll paste the color here. Now that I've pasted the color there. No, I changed the border radius, but not the border width. Border width should also be 15. So this is this. Now I want to change the border radius to be something like 20. If I publish this and then I come to the front end of my website, what do I see? Now I see that. So you can see this on the background. You can see this effect on the background here. One thing I can do is that I can give it this instead, this color instead, make it bright. I'll come to this focus title. I'll copy this. And then I'll come back here, border. I want to paste this here. So that is that. Now, the next thing we need to do, is I want to add another section and continue building the website. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to add a container, a flex box, this. And then what I will do is that I will add a container inside. And then inside here, I will add another container. And then I will duplicate this. So inside this container here, I'm going to add a heading. I will add a heading and I will see features. I'll add another heading and I'll see what I do. So for these, I want to copy this style here and paste it here, with the exception that I'm going to change the color to this. I will change the color to this. Still pick that hex color there. And then I'm going to add it here. style, paste, and then what I do, I'm going to come to style, and I want to make this to be primary, which is just, and is going to be 800 size. Let's see, let's make this big. Let's say 60. So that is that for the size. Now I want to come to this container down here. By the way, all of this is supposed to be on a black background. So I'll click here. I'll change this, all of this to black. This is going to be white. Now I want to come to this container. I want to change the alignment or the direction to be horizontal. Now I'll come here. I'll add this container inside here again. So all in all, we have 4 containers, 4 levels. I will also duplicate and duplicate the third time. Inside here now, inside here, I want to add an icon box. This is an icon box. I want to add that. And I want the first one to be something like, I'll say hamburger. Let's just say lines. What if I use this one? Yes, I can use this one. And then I'll see business strategy. And then I can copy some text. I'll paste the text here. So if I come now, when you come to view, it says stacked, framed. I will not frame this. I'll just, leave it as default. So if I come to style, I want the icon position to be to the left and the alignment of all of this to be left, also be left. Now, I'll just put this on top, and everything should be aligned to the left. Now, I want this, all of these, the icon to be this color. I'll copy this icon. Primary color of the icon should be this. I'll paste that there. And the content should be white. So the heading should be something like this grayish color. But the content itself should be pure white. Now, this typography here should be Poppins for the heading, and then also for the description. Should also be Poppins. So we have that. You can reduce the size of the text if you want. Then I want to give this section, this container, I want to give it a border type, or first of all, let's give it a margin. I'll give it a margin of 30 all round. I don't think it really suits. Let's make it 40. Let's make it 40 all round. And then what we can do is that I can reduce the size of this text, content, description, the size of this text. I'll make this to be 14. Then I'll come back here and I'm going to give this a border. And for the border type, we can make it, you can make it anything. Let's say solid. But now the color, you may want it to be something like this. You can bring it your mouse to drag it to be black, but you reduce the opacity. if I preview this, let me publish and preview. So you don't really see the border here. The reason we didn't see anything is because we didn't give any border width. So I'll come here, I'll drag this right up here to the white, to make it pure white. Then I will reduce the opacity. Let it be FF17. That's FF17. Then I'm going to come to box shadow, and then you can give it the shadow. You can give it the shadow. Horizontal, you can make it, let's say, up to 5. Vertical, you can make it up to 5. The blur, let's leave it the way it is. Let's publish this. And you come and you see it doesn't really show. Let me change the values. So I've given this background, I've given the border width of solid, and I've given this color FFF66. That's the background color. Then I've given it the box shadow. Horizontal should be 5, vertical 5, blur 14, spread 1. You can increase the spread if you want this to go further, to spread further, but you can make it 1 or 2. 1 or 2 will do. And then the position should be outlined. Now, if we publish this and look at it on the front end, you can see how it looks. You can see the shadow at the edge there. That is exactly what we wanted to achieve. So I can just duplicate this now. First of all, let me increase the top and the bottom paddings. So the top padding, no, let me remove this. I'll make the top to be 45 and the bottom to be 45 or 50 rather. And then the top should also be 50. If I come back and look at this and I reload this page, I think it kind of gives me what I'm looking for. Now you can also add a hover animation. So now for these, what happens when people hover over this particular element? You can come to style, and then you can see hover. When people hover, what should happen? The background color, maybe you want it to change to something like green. So you see when they hover over this, it changes. And you can also give it a gradient that when they hover over it, let's say we have this particular color here. And you can also make it to align to the left instead. This is top bottom now, but you can make it, let's say, bottom top or left right. I'll increase first to white. And then I want to choose this same color. I'll copy this here. And I'm going to give it as a second color, the second hover color. So hover, I'm going to paste this here. So when they hover over this is what happens. And we can also change for the text, come to style, for the icon. When it is hovered over, what should happen? Maybe we want it to change to white. So we are not really, okay, so but when they hover over the icon, it changes to white. So that is that. It may not really be effective here because they will have to hover over the icon before we see this. But as it is, it works. It works perfectly well. So what we need to do is that we need to duplicate this right now. Another way we could do this is that instead of giving the hover effect and the padding to the entire container, I can come to this container, come back to advanced, and remove these values. And then instead, I'll click on the icon box itself, and then I'll give it a padding of 40 all around. And then top and bottom should be 50 each. Top and bottom should be 50 each. So now I'm going to remove this hover color for the background. I'm going to just reset this color. I'll reset this. So now I want to give the hover effect too. Let me first of all toggle off the padding here. I've toggled off the padding. So I want to give the hover effect to this icon box instead. So I'll come to style, the entire box. We can do this for the entire box or just for some particular elements. So for this box, if we come to style and we see icon, we can make the hover icon, the color for the icon hover to be white. And then the content, the title, we can make it to turn purple when it is hovered over. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to revert to what we had previously done. That when you hover over this, it's going to turn to black, or to purple rather. So I'll come here, background, hover, and let me pick this from here. I'll pick this from here. All right. So for the hover, I'm going to give this a gradient. So for this, it will be white. So when they hover over this, this is what we are going to get. I'm just going to leave it that way. I just wanted to show you the possibilities. I will duplicate this now. I will delete this. I will also delete this. First of all, let me give this an all-round margin of 5. I'll also give this an all-round margin of 5. And then I'll also duplicate this. So we can change what we have here now. Here, let's just look for something like book. We can use book, something of this sort. Let's use this. And we'll see app development. App development. And here, we are going to see mobile strategy. Mobile strategy. So this is this. And then we can change the color. Let's say phone. We want to look for something like a phone. And then we'll add this here. We can now duplicate this section. And we can change these colors or the icons here. I'm going to look for phone. I'll select this and I'll see responsive apps. I'm going to change this to and I'm going to look for data. I'll use this one. And I'll see database management. Let me just abbreviate this. MGNT, database management. Here, I'll look for anything like you box. I can use any of these. And I can see product testing. So this is what we have for now. I want to give this a top padding. I'll first of all increase. Then I'll unlock that, give it a top padding of, let's say 80. We'll make it 100. Then bottom should also be 100. So the next thing we want to do is that we want to create a portfolio section. I'll come here, add a flex box to display this guy's portfolio. So what I want to do is I want to add a container inside here. It's going to be practically just like this section up here, but let's just do it from scratch again. And then want to duplicate this section. Here we also want to add, we'll copy this heading, and then I'll paste it here. I'll also copy this, and then I'll paste it here. So I'm going to align this to the center. I'm also going to align this to the center. And I'll change this and say my bragging rights. And then here, I will change it to my portfolio. So obviously I want to give this entire section a black background color. I'll just do that right away. And then here, I want to make this aligned horizontal. And then I want to add a container inside here. I'll duplicate this. I will duplicate these two. So here is going to be something like an image box. We can do this in two ways. We can add an image box, which is this. It's going to give us an image, heading, and a description at the same time. But it may not really give us everything which we want. So I'm going to delete this. So the first thing I'm going to do inside here is that I'm going to add a container, another container again. So we have this first level container. We have this container where all of these are sitting. Then we have this. I think this should be the fourth or the fifth level container. So I'm going to add this container and I'm going to duplicate it. So inside this first container, what I want to add is an image. I want to add an image. Inside this second level container, I want to add 2 levels of text. So I'll duplicate this first of all. And then I want to add some text here. I'm going to add some text here. I'll see, I'll first of all add a heading, which is going to say, let's say gallery. No, for this is going to be web, no, mobile app rather. And I'm going to style this. Let me copy the code, the color code here, and paste it here. All right. And then I want to make this to be very tiny. 14. I want to duplicate this now. And I want to see, let's just see, Python. No, I'll use Kotlin. Kotlin. Now, instead of this Kotlin, what I can do is that I can instead add something like an image here again. An image here instead. Let me bring this under. And I'm going to upload one of these, which is used for building mobile apps. I'll just use this. This should be Flutter. I'll use that. It's 512 by 512. I'll select that, insert it. Let me delete this. And I want to edit this picture. I want it, go to custom. I'll make this, let's say, 40 by 40. And if I apply, all right. So that is 40 by 40. I can actually make it to be, let's see, 30 by 30 and apply. So I want to come now. I want both of these to be on the same line. So what I'm going to do is that but I want this to come first. I don't know why this came first. So what we can do is that I'm going to click on this entire container. You see where it says direction, make it row reversed. So you see them. Now I want each of them to be at the end. So I'm going to use this particular one spaced around. No, this one spaced between. Yes, so you see both of them. This is the language used, and this is a mobile app. So anybody who sees it knows that this is a mobile app built using Flutter. Now I want to add this picture here. I'll come to upload, and I want to use which particular one? I'm going to use this one. No, these two. I'll use these two. And I will select that, insert that. Then I want to close this particular, I want to make this particular section, I want to remove every gap from it. Remove every gap from this one. This one too. Come to advanced. Now before I remove the gaps from it, I need to add some text so that anybody who sees it knows what it is. I'll add a heading here, because if not, it's going to be difficult. And then I'm going to see crypto. Let's just see NFT dashboard application. Application development. Or come to style, color. I'll make this white. Size, I'm going to make the size this way. Now the weight, I want to make it 300. Let me change this first. The typography should be secondary. All right. And I'm going to make this 20. So I'll leave it at 22. I'll leave it at 22. And I'm also going to unlock, remove every space. I'll do the same thing here. Remove every space. So you see, I like it the way it is right now. Now for this text, I can come here and, if I decide that I don't like, I want this both to be centered. So what I can do is I can click here, come to layout, and then I want it to be centered horizontally. So you see they are on the same line. This text is not up. And you can also change, let's say you may want to change the color, or you want to change the size. That is all up to you. Now for this container, which harbors all of them, I want to give it a padding. I want to give it a padding all around. Let's say 20. Let's increase that again to 25 on top. Then beneath, 30 and on top 30. I think I may want to make this 35 beneath. And I want to come to the border radius, and I want to make this, it rounded. Let's say 15. I want to give it a border type of solid. It should be 1. And then I'll make this all white, but I'll reduce the transparency. Now, if I preview this on the front end, this is what I see. I want to give it a little bit of shadow like we have on top of here. So what I will do is that I'll still click here. I'll come to box shadow. I'll make this 5. I'll make this 5. I'll make this 1. And then the color should be white. Or if I choose to reduce, oh, come on. If I choose to reduce the opacity to something like this, I publish, and you will see this is what we have. So these are portfolio items. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to duplicate this. So this is the outer section. I'll duplicate this. I will still duplicate this. What I want to do now is I want to delete this particular one. And I want to change this picture. I will change it to this. I think this should be seen. Yes, that is that. And then I'll just change the other one to real quick. Now I will duplicate this section too. I will duplicate this section, this entire section. And then I'll change the pictures too before coming back to you. So I've gone ahead and changed all of this. I'll just now change the write-ups for each of these. I have now added different text. So what we need to do now is change this. Let's just say this. For this, we'll see this is a database. This is a database, and what was used to build this. Let's just come back to our. We could see this was built. This was designed using. Let's just use CSS. We are not being serious here about everything. For this, we'll see this is a web app, and then we'll see this was built using Python. So I'm going to select Python here. I'll just insert that there. So everybody seeing this knows that this is a database and was built using this here. And then for this, we can see this is a design wireframe, and it was done using Figma. So I'll come and look for Figma, the logo for Figma, and this is it, standing very proudly there. As we insert that, we go to the next, and let's say this was, what can we see? Let's just say this is a website. This is a website, and it was built using, let's say, WordPress, like we are doing right now. And this last one is also a mobile app, but this time around, what was used to build it Could we see it was built using, I don't know if this is Vue.js. I'll just use that there. And then I'm going to insert that. I'll insert this here. So I'll publish this. And if I look at this website on the front end, you can see this is what we have. We have the portfolio here. Now, one thing we want to do next is that we want to add, let's say, something like this person's resume. So for this, we are going to be using tabs. I'm going to click and add a flex box. Now, for this entire section, I'll add come to advanced padding, bottom padding of 100. Bottom padding of 100. And then I want to add another section down here. And of course, I want to add a container inside here. And inside this container, I want to add tabs. So Elements Kit has its own tabs, which we can use. So this is what we see here. We can use these tabs, but we don't want to use these tabs because we are not going to be writing text and all that. We are going to be using shortcuts. Now we can see add the shortcuts here, but let me duplicate this. This is the tab we actually wanted to use. Is the one that comes with Elementor. If I delete this and I click on tab, this is what I initially had in mind. So this is what I had in mind, but we can be open-minded and use this particular one by Elements Kit because it kind of looks cool. So I see here a gap between tabs. If I remove this, make this 0. All right. So I think we can work with this one. So for us to do this, I want us to go to our back end, come to Elementor, come to templates, click on Shift Templates, and I want to click on Add New, and this should be page, and then let's just see resume. So click on resume, and I'll click on create template. Now that is on this page, what I want to do is that I want to come to these settings, hide title, and then page layout should be Elementor canvas. So nothing else shows. Now what I want to do is that I want to add a container. I'll make it this, and then I want to add another container inside. It should be horizontal. Then I'll add another container inside, and I'll duplicate. Now, for each of these, what I want to do is that I'm going to first of all add a heading inside here. But before I do that, let me make sure the heading is a container on its own. So I'll duplicate this container. No, I want to delete this. And I'll add a container inside here to be on the safe side. So I can now duplicate this. And then I want to add a heading inside here. I want to add a heading inside here and see, it's going to say, let's see, 1999 to 2015. And then I'll duplicate this. So this is inside the first container. Now what I want to do is that I want to come here I want to copy the style here, come here, and I'll paste it here. So 1999 to 2015. So the only thing I can do is that I can reduce the size to 18. And then here I want to say education or academic qualification. Academic qualification. And then here I'm going to make it typography. I'm going to make it, let's say, primary. Yes, I'm going to leave it this way. Then I'll make it 30. Now for this particular one, I will duplicate this container again. So we have something to work under. Inside here, I'm going to add a heading. I'll just copy this and paste it there. And it's going to say BSc Computer Science. Computer Sciences. And so this is a container. Now I want to add another container inside here. So I'm going to drag a container and put it inside here. And I'm going to see the university. I'm going to add a heading. Let me just copy this, add it inside here. Okay, I'm still in the same. I'll say, first of all, university, or let's just say MIT. And then I want to add a button inside here. Under that, and this button should say, let's say the GPA should be 3.9.4. I want to come to the styling of this button, or I can just first of all add some text under. I'll copy this text, and then I want to add it under here. Yeah, we can add it under here. Still in the same container, but under. So this is going to say, I'll paste the text here. I've pasted text there. Now for all of this, no, not all of this. I want this particular container. I want to give this a padding of, let's see, 40. And then here, what I want to do is that I want to make this to be horizontally aligned. But before we do that, I want to change the style of this button. I will come to style for this button. And then the padding, I want to unlock that. Let me lock it first. The padding top should be 15, not 150. I'll remove everything. Padding top should be 15. Bottom 15 or 12 rather. 12, 12. Left should be 20. Right 20. The radius, I'll just remove that, and then I'll make everything 5. No, not 5. Let's see, 7. And I'm going to leave it as it is. And what I want to do is that I want to make both of these to be the same line. But before then, let me change this. Let's see, I'll change this to 20. Then both of these should now be on the same line. I'll click on this box, align them horizontal, and then they should be on. Each of them should be at the end of the spectrum. And for this text, now I want all of this entire background. Let me change this to white. Change this to white. Change this to white. Change this to white. Even this should be white. And then I'll give this entire column a background color of black. So this particular one, first things first, I want to click on it, and then I can reduce the spacing. If I come to layout, I can reduce the spacing among them, or I just unlock this. So you see, it removes the spacing around each of them. Then if I come back here, I come to advanced, I want to increase this to 50. So this is 50. And then I want to remove the padding around this second container. It is going to flush everything to the end. So that is that. Now, I'm not just going to leave this the way it is. I want to give it a corner, border rather. I'm first of all going to give it a border radius of 15. And then the border type is going to be solid. And then it's going to be 1. And then the color is going to be white. So what I'll come now, I'll do is I'll give it box shadow. This is going to be 5. 5. Spread 1. So if I publish this and I want to preview this, so we see that here, but we don't see the box shadow. The shadow seems nowhere to be found. Let me check that again. Shadow, all right. I didn't change the color of the shadow. I'll change the color of the shadow. And then I'll make it this way. If I publish this now, and I do this on the front end, yeah, one thing I need to do is that I don't want this border color to be too pronounced, so I'll reduce the transparency, reduce it significantly. If I publish that now, yes, I think I like it this way. I like it this way. I can just increase or reduce the transparency a little bit, a teeny bit. All right. So this is how I want it to be. I'm now just going to duplicate this. I'll duplicate this. And you can change. Let's see. We can make this to be MSC instead. And then BSC. Same thing. So for let's say BSC, it was 3.7, but it performed better. And it was not MIT, but Harvard. All right. So now what we want to do is I want to duplicate this section. I'll duplicate this section and then I'll just delete this one. I'll delete this. I'll delete this. And this one is going to be job experience or work experience. And it'll be 2015 to 2024. And here I will see senior software engineer. And here instead I'm going to put the country. I'm going to see USA. And here the company, I'll see Google. Now let me see if I have any icons of some of those companies. I'm going to add them there. No, we don't. No, we don't. So just go ahead doing what we are doing, and then I'll see web developer and trainer. I'll just say Argos, wherever that is. Okay. All right. So this is this. I'll publish this. Now that it's published, if I go to the back end of my website, if I should go back to, let's say templates, go to saved templates, you see that I have this resume here. I can view this on the front end. It's not a page on its own, it's just a template. Now, if you don't have Elementor Pro, you can't do this particular functionality because you will not be able to get this shortcode here. This is what I want to copy, and then I'll come back to my website. I'm going to come here, and where you see tab 1, I could put this under tab 2, but I want to put this under tab 1. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to look for shortcode. I'll drag it there, and then I'll place that there. So you see automatically we have this showing here. If I publish that now, and I want to look at my website on the front end, you can see this is what we have. Now, it doesn't really look good. It doesn't really look good because we are yet to style it. But we still have tab 2 and tab 3. So we want to add some other stuff. So the next thing we want to do is that we just want to copy. I don't think it's necessary for us to copy this because we want to do a new template. So I'll come back to the dashboard. No, I'll just come here, add new template. I'm going to see it's supposed to be a page. And let's just see skills, create template. Let me just click this. I don't want too many tabs open. And same as on the other template, what I want to do is that I want to first of all make this to be canvas. I want to make this our high title, and then I'll make this to be Elementor canvas. Then I want to add this flex box. I want to add a container inside, and then I want to make this to be horizontal, and then I want to add another. You know what I can do is that I can just copy this. I can just copy this here and paste it here. No, that's not what I wanted to copy. I want to copy this entire section. And copy this entire section, copy, and then can paste. Oh, somehow. Let me see if I can import that template. Yes, I'll just insert the template here. Yes, that is easier to do. I'll insert the template. So what I can do is that I will delete this, or it's reloading to show better. All right, so I will delete this under here. Mind you, Elementor can be very buggy sometimes. I'll delete this under here. And then what I forgot to do was to give this a bottom padding. So I'll just see 1, and then I'll unlock this and give it a bottom padding of, let's say, 80. All right. So what I want to do is that I want to remove these things. And for this one, I absolutely need to make it full because of what we want to put there. So, and then I'll make it full width, but I'm going to give it a left and a right padding. I'll give it a left-right padding of, let's say, 10, left padding of 10. We'll increase those later on. Let's see, 20 and 20. So I'll say features. I'll write here features. And I'm also going to say features. Now I want to delete everything inside here. And then I want to add something. I want to add a particular widget inside here. I want to add a progress bar here. So I'm going to search for progress. Now you can add progress tracker, or you can add progress bar, but I prefer to add the progress bar. Progress tracker is a little bit more confusing sometimes. I'll use progress bar. I'll add it inside here, and then I'll delete this. So I'm going to add a title inside here. I'll copy this. I'll bring it up here, and I'll see design skill. Oh, this design skill was supposed to be up here instead. I forgot that I had it. Design skill. I'll delete this, and then here I want to see Adobe XD, and I want this to be, let's see, 100%, and see web design is used for web design. Yes, then I want to use this color. Here, progress color should be this. Yes, so when it loads, that's how it's going to show. Text color should be white, and the title should also be white. I'm just going to leave them the way they are. And then for the progress bar, let's look at the height. We can make it a little bit smaller. And we can also decide we don't want this text there. So when we make it smaller, we can make it 20. So now we can delete this text here. And then I also can give this a border radius, let it be a bit rounded. And then I can duplicate this. If we come to style, I can duplicate this and say Figma. Now I'll just give a padding here on top of here. Let's just see one first. Then top padding. Then, so we can see Figma. This could be Figma. Figma, and then we could make it to be 97. Now we can duplicate this and see Photoshop. Let's say for this is 90. Duplicate this and say Illustrate or Canva. Yes, we'll make this 100. And then we'll duplicate this and see DaVinci Resolve. Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve. You can see 96%. So we can leave it as this. We can also just copy this, remove this here, remove this, paste this here. You can also, let's see for this, we say HTML, HTML 100%. We'll duplicate this now. And we'll come to advanced padding 1. And then I'll delete these two. For this, I'm going to, for the title, by the way, I'm going to say development skill. So I'm going to see here, this should be CSS. CSS 100%, maybe it's a very good, but let's just make it 99. Let's be real. I will duplicate this again and I'll say Python 98%, and then here I'm going to say Flutter. Flutter should be 90%, and then I will duplicate this and say Kotlin. Kotlin 94%. So this is skills. So we have feature skills and skills. I'll publish this. And if I now come to saved templates, where do I get that? I'll just open this on the dashboard on another page. If I come to saved templates, you see skills, I can copy the hex code, come back here. I'll come to tab 2. I'm going to look for short code. I'll add that there and then I'll paste. So we now see this as it is. Tab 1. Tab 1 shows us this. Tab 2 shows us this. Now, tab 3 should show us experience. it's not going to be very different from, you know, what we had here. So I'm now going to come back to templates, save templates, and go to page, add new, experience, and now that we are here, I want to change this to also hide title and also canvas, Elementor canvas. And I'm also going to import the template we used previously. So I'm going to click here. I'll come to my templates, and then I want to insert this resume. I'll insert that and apply. Of course, it always takes a little bit of time to insert. Now we have this. I'm going to change this to both of them 2015 to 2024 because it is his work or her work experience. And I'm going to say design experience. I'm going to say development experience. So for development experience, I can leave that with it is here. I'll see senior designer, and I can put the name of any company. Let's say Barclays. I don't know why that came to mind. And then I'll see junior animator. I'll see Hayworth. I don't know. This should be. I'll see Taiwan. He worked in Taiwan. And then this. Let's see Italy. All right. So this is this. And we can publish this for now. And if we preview this, here it is. Let me just give this what I give the others. I'll give it a background. I'll first come to padding, give all one around. Then bottom, I'm going to make it 80. And then I'll publish this. Right now, come to save template. We still have skills and resume. I think now we're going to see something like work experience. Yeah, that is it. I'll copy the hex code. I'll come here. And I want to add it here. Short code, not hex code, rather. Short code. I'll add it here. I'll paste there. Now, if we publish this, we can preview this on the front end. This is how it looks. So the first thing we want to do is that we want to give this, I want to make all of this to be black, the background to be black, this entire section. I'll make all of it to be black. And then I also want this to not be as boxed as it is. So I'll give this, let's say 1250. Publish this. And this is how it looks now. You see, if I click on this tab, and I click on this tab, it takes me here. I click on this, it takes me here. I have to give something like a padding I have to increase the padding for this first one. So if I come to Save Templates, let me go to Resume, open this with Elementor. I want to give this a bottom padding of 80, at least 80. So I'll click here. It's not loaded totally. Okay, I'll click here. Come to Advanced. Click here, come to Advanced. 1. Then I'm going to unlock this and make this 80. I'll publish that. Now, if I come to my home page, you see now, we now have a good, decent padding. Now I want to change the look of all of these. I want to come to our editing page, and then I can just click on Style and rename the tabs. And then the first one I'll see Academic. Next one I'll see Skill. And the next I will see Experience. Here I can see Education rather. And if I come to Style, I can play around with this. Let me just publish this first. Now we'll just go ahead and play with this. So I'll click here. I want to edit this particular section, and the gap between the tabs should be, let's see, 2. And the border radius, we can make this to be, let's say, 5. I don't know if 5 is going to be okay. We can just make this 5. Yeah, border radius. Then the padding, the top padding should be, let's say, 30. Let's just make this all around 30. And then for the left and the right, I'll make each of them 50 right and 50 left. Now we can even increase it to, let's see, 75 and 75. So this is this. Now what we want to do is that for the hover color, or for the active color, by the way, let's come back here. For the active colors, the colors, where are those? All right, for normal color, we'll go to background type, and we want these to be, background type should be, let's say, just white. Then for active color, for hover color, let's see the hover color now. Hover color, I'm going to make it something grayish. Yes, let me make this grayish. Then the active color, I want it to be this purple. I will copy that, come back here. Active color. The background should still be white, but the text color, where do I change the text color? Anyway, let's make this purple instead. It doesn't give us the ability to change the text color. I'll make this purple. So this is how it's going to show. I think I'll leave this the way it is. For the text color, the titles, let's see. Okay, we can change the text color here. Anyway, I'll just make this to be just. just, and the color, normal color, I want it to be black. So that is that. And if I publish that and I preview this, so if I preview this, you can see the skills, and then you can see the experience. You can see here, and then you can see here. So that is that. Now we want to add testimonials. We want to add testimonials, and we are still going to go back to the back end of the website. I want to go to the dashboard, and we still want to work with templates. Go to save templates, and we want to still go to pages. I want to add new template. I will say testimonials 1. We'll create that. Now I'll make this to be canvas. I title, make this canvas, and then I want to add a testimonial here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add this section, and I'm going to add a container inside here. I'll make this horizontal. I'm going to add another section inside. I will duplicate this. So what I want to do is that I want to have 2 testimonials on each. I want to look for an image box. I'll put it here. But what I want to do with this image box is that I want to have it like this. So the image is going to be on the left, and then the heading on the right, and then the testimonial down. So if I choose the image now for this, I'm going to choose, I'll start with this. Or let me just start with this guy. Or this guy. I'll insert him there. So I want him to be that. Now I want to copy some testimonials. I'll just assume that this is a testimonial, and this guy is called Naval Sharik. And then I want to go to image spacing. Let's come to the image here. The image, the width, you can increase it. We can make it 70. Border radius, let's see, 15. And the content, you can write whatever you want to write there. I will just copy this. I will duplicate, Ctrl V. If I come to style, I can come to content. The title should be white because this entire section should be black. Let me change that to black. And then the name is already kind of grayish. I'll make it white. And then the title should also be white. I'll make these pop-ins. I'll reduce the size. All right. So this is this. For this picture, I want to give it, I'll just leave it full. Then I can duplicate this. I will duplicate this. I will delete this. Now, I will change this picture to something else. Let me see if I already have one of these pictures can be used. Is there any of them? Yes, I think this picture can be used, even though I would like to search if there are any others which are better. So this one can be used. What's the dimension? 494 by 494. What was this one? 430. Okay. So I'll insert this one. So, and this one I'll see. This guy is John Callum. That is what I'm going to use there. I think for the name, I want it to be just. That's the title. I want it to be just. And the same here. Just. So this is testimony carousel 1. I think I'm not liking the way the text is. I can use that to that. I will copy this, paste here. All right. I'll just publish this testimonies 1. And if I reload this, I can just click on page again, add new template, testimonials 2, create template, and then I'll just insert that template. Now, I'll come to settings, toggle this off, and then choose canvas. It's going to reload. Now, I want to insert templates, testimonials. I want to insert this. Yes, apply. Now here, I want to look for the pictures of a woman. Unfortunately, I don't have any woman here. So the ladies will have to pardon me. It wasn't intentional. So I'll use this gentleman. I'll use this one. Insert that. Insert. And this is going to be Bob Ross. And for this one, I'll insert another picture. And this is going to be Louis Ham, whoever that is. And then I'm going to publish that. I will now go back to my saved templates. Where is this? Okay, I'll go back to my saved templates. Save templates. So I see testimonials. I will copy this and just come back to my home page and see. I'll create a new Flexbox container. I'll add this. Now I'm going to go to the background. I'll make this black, of course. And then what I want to do is that I want to look for testimonial carousel. This one, I think this is an Elementor Pro feature. So I want to remove these two. I want to work with this one. And here, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to add that shortcode there. It will not show right now. And if I duplicate this and I can delete this one now, I'll add the shortcode for testimonials too. I'll publish this. If I look at this on the front end, you see these are the testimonials and the slide. Now, mind you, shortcodes are going to be your best friend in WordPress because they give you a lot of versatility. I want to reduce these to 300, and these two should also be 300. That's the width. 300 and not the 400. It should be testimonial 2. If I go to testimonial 1, edit with Elementor, same thing. I want to reduce it to 300. All right. I'll come here, come to style, content, reduce this, the width to 300. Reduce the width of this one also to 300. I'll publish this and I'm going to look at this on the front. So this is what it shows us. So these are testimonials. I need to add a heading on top of it. I can just add it here and see what our clients see. I want to come to style. I want this first of all to be white. Then I want it to be primary. Then I want it to be, let's say 50. Then we can still edit this. We come to style. That's for the testimonials. Background color should be that. Content, text should be this. And typography, let's make this to be Poppins. Poppins style should be normal. And if I come and preview this website, you can see the text now aligns itself well. So the next thing we want to do is that we want to add something like a contact button. We want to add a contact button, which if anybody wants to work with this business, they can be rest assured that they can get to them. So what we want to do is to come back here, add a section. Here I'll give this a bottom padding. Bottom padding of 100. Okay, I want to add a container now. So if you want to work with this guy, what must you do? I'll add a container inside here. And then inside here, I'm going to make this direction horizontal. And then I'm going to add another container, duplicate this. Here I'm going to put a form, and I'm going to put a Google map here. So I'll just search for map, and Google map, I think it should be on this side. Then I want to use a form. Now, if you are not using Elementor Pro, which I believe you are, you can also use something called Medform to get this done. But since we have using Elementor Pro, I'll just look for the form widget for Elementor, and it already gives me name, email. So first thing first, I want to come here. I want to make the name form field to be just 50%. Email, I want it to be 50%. So you can see the way we are doing this already. Name 50%, email 50%. I don't want these labels. So I want to remove the label. Email, I want to remove the label. I can duplicate this and see phone number. I'll just come to type and look for tel. So the placeholder is going to be phone number. Phone number. And then I'm going to duplicate this and see placeholder. I'll see desired service. And it's going to be a drop down. So I'll click here and choose select. With select, yeah, and design. I'll see design and development. It should be on separate lines. So the client has the choice whether they want to do, and then another field, I will see budget. Budget is also going to be select. Let's see. No, I will not use budget here. I want to use timeline. Timeline. Okay, time. So they can choose their date and their time there. Okay, see timeline. So when they click here, they can choose their time. So native HTML5. You use native HTML5, you see it gives you this, you can choose. And then you can see here company size, and this should be select. Let this just be a text, company size, and then they'll enter it, and then that's the message. I also want to remove the label. All right, so the required mark should be on each of them. No, I'll just leave that required mark for now. And the button should say, you can change it to say send or submit. I'll just leave, I'll change it to submit or send message. All right, let's come to the style. So for the fields, you can change the spacing if you like. The labels, you can also change the spacing if you like. The rows gap, you want them to be spaced out more, you can do that. You can make them more spaced out. You can also make them to be joined together or really separated from each other. I don't know why you want them to be too spaced out from each other. Then the fields. So when we come to the field, I want to make this border width to be 0. So I want to make it to be 0. Then the button, I want the color of the button to be this purple. I'll copy this hex code here. Copy hex code. Come back here. The button background color should be this. So, and I want to make this, of course, the background to be black. Background type should be black. So, and I want to give this a padding, and then I want to give it a bottom padding of 100. I want to change the height to this. Let's see, I'll make it 400. And I come back to the fields. And we can change a little bit here, like the labels and the placeholder. You can also change them. Now coming back to this content tab, you see where it says input size. You can change, this is now small. You can change it to large, something like this, which makes it more pronounced. You can make it extra large, something like this. I think large is good. You can make it medium. It's not displaying anymore. You can make it medium if you like. I'll make it large. Large. And then I'm going to increase the size of this to 450. Now, if I check this, how it's going to look, I'm going to reduce the size of this. Let's say 420. All right. Now I need to give a heading on top of it. I will give a heading here. I'll say contact us. I'll come to style. I'll come to typography, make this primary. And then I want to change this to be a bit big. It should actually say contact me since it's a freelancer. And then I want to reduce this to be 10. That's 1100. I want to make this to be white. And then I want to give this a background color of black. All right. So if I publish this now, I can now look at our page, at our website rather. So this is our website. Oh, the map is not showing for some reason. And it shows me an invalid response. But all in all, you can see what's going on with the website. If I scroll here, you can see. So this is our website. Now, there are two things we are yet to do. We are yet to do the three things actually. We are yet to do the footer. We are yet to do the mobile responsive mode. And what else? I think those are the two. So let's check the mobile responsiveness. Wow. There is not much we have to do here. There isn't too much we have to do. All right, let's start from the beginning. All right, so from the beginning, first thing I have to do is to come to this entire section. And what I need to do is come to advanced. And I want to make this first of all 1. And then I can start increasing. And I will make all around 10. Then I'll unlock it. And then I'll increase the top to maybe 30. Oh, the top should be more than that. 40. I'll reduce the size. I'll reduce the size of this text to 12. I'll reduce the size of this. I'll come to title. I'll typography. I'm going to make this, let's make this to be 20. Let's make this 25. And the focus title should also be 25. Focus title should also be 25. And if I come down here, I also want to make this to be 25. 25. Let's see if it's okay. So 24. Let's see all the text, if any one of them is cutting off. All right, it's okay. I'll reduce this text to 12. And then you can see this particular. So what we can do is that I can make this. I can flip this. I want to make this for this text to come up. So I've changed the direction. So all of this comes under this. I will center this. I can increase the size of this text to 27 and 27. Typography for this, 26. Okay, 27. Focus title. I can change the focus title to be more than that even. All right. So that is that. What I do I can change the typography size to 40. All of these are okay. Let me see what I did up here. This should be centered. These two should be 40. 40. This should be 15. I will change the size of this to be 16. 16. I will copy this paste style, paste style, paste style, paste style, and of course paste style. So when I come now here for each of these, if I come to this container, come to advanced, no, that's not the container that's affecting this. All right, for this, we will need to adjust this at the level of the template. So we'll go to the templates shortly. Let's do this. For this, I'll make this 40, or we can reduce it even. I will say 30 here. For this, I'm going to make this 40. And then that is that. So we now come to the templates, save templates. For resume, if we come and edit this with Elementor, it's loading. Now, if I show this on mobile version, all right. So what I can do on mobile version is that I can reduce the padding to 30, and this one 30. This one too should be 30, and this one should be 30. You could do 25. It's all up to you. So I'll publish that. And the same thing for skills. I'll edit skills with Elementor. If I now put it on mobile layout, here should be 30. Here, 30. You could make it even 25. That's all up to you. Or 20. Not 3,200. Let's say 20. And here, 20. You could also reduce this size of this to be, let's say, 25. And 25. Save that. You come to experience, same thing. It's loading. I will now put this on mobile layout. And then I want to make this to be 30. Like we said, use whatever dimensions are pleasing unto you. 30. 30. 30. And for this, I'll make it 20 or 25. Let's just make this 24. I will make these two to be 24. So I'll publish that. Now that we've done this, if I come back to my home page and I reload this, I should see a change on the home page. I will now put this back on mobile. Now I hope this has not altered. Okay, on phone is still the same, on desktop rather. So we see it now looks better on mobile. It now looks better on mobile. So one thing we can do on mobile is to simply turn off the padding. Yes, so you see bulges out. We can turn off the padding for this. I'll close this. And for these two, I will turn off the padding. And for experience, I will do these two. So you see, this is how it looks. And I'm just going to publish that. So to close this job, to close this tutorial, there are a number of things we need to do. One of the things we need to do is to come to the back end of this website. And now you see these white edges here. I don't want that. We don't want that. So we want to make everything to be black. So we want to come to the dashboard, come to appearance, customize. And it's going to load us some elements here. What we are looking for is global. Go to global colors. No, not that. Global colors. So the background color should be, side background should be black. So you see now we don't have that there. So we can publish. The background color of this website is black. Now, one other thing we need to do is to create. Let's go to the dashboard. We need to create the footer. So you still come to templates, come to theme builder. And we want to create footer. So, all right. So this is the footer now. And we are not going to use any of these. We are going to create our own footer from scratch. It's going to have just two columns, these two columns. Now that we change the background color to black, you see everything here is black. I'm going to add the logo here. I'm going to add an image. I'll add the image there. I'll just add that logo here. We have it somewhere here. Where's that logo? The logo we installed. This is funny. Okay, here it is. I'll select that. I'll add that there. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to reduce the size. Custom, I want to make it 100 by 100. Apply. And then here, I'm going to put some contact information. I'll just put, I can copy from here. I can just copy this, copy, and paste here. I'll come to style. I'll copy and paste there. And then I'll put a heading saying contact us. I'll make this white. And then this entire contact button, I'm going to make it style. The background should be black. And advanced padding should be 50 all around. Then on top should be 100 and 100. And then I'll come to layout. I'll make this to be 900. I'll publish this and it's going to give me these conditions. I will choose entire website. You can just add these other ones for fancy and then save and close. Now, finally, we have a number of sections. This is the home. And I want to see services. I want to add some items to the menu. So I'll come to appearance menu. I'll remove all of these ones which are no longer here. I will deselect this and I'll see remove items. Come to custom links. URL, I'm going to see, I'll put a pound there and then I'll see text services. And then I'm going to come here, portfolio. I'll put a pound there. I'll add that to menu. I'm going to add the links very shortly. And after portfolio, what do we have? I'll say experience. Pound. I'll add that there. After experience, let's just say contact. And then pound. Now, if I save this, you can now see them on the front end. But if I click on each of these, nothing happens. It just reloads the page. So what I want to do is I want for each of those sections represented, what we want to do is we want to use a CSS ID, give them a CSS ID. So I'll come to this section. I'm going to see, I'll click on it, come to advanced, the CSS ID. I'm going to see services. So when I come here, I'll copy this. I'll copy these services. And under services, I'm going to paste that. Ctrl V. Then this one is portfolio. So I'm going to come here. Portfolio. I'll click on this, come to advanced, CSS ID. I'm going to say portfolio. I'll copy this. I will now come here. I'll paste it there. Then finally, I can add another one called testimonials. I'll add this pound. I'll say testimonials. I'll add that. So, this should instead be contact rather. So I'll just put contact here. I'll put experience here. Experience. I already have portfolio. So if for experience, let me copy this. For experience, I'll come here, come to CSS Advanced, CSS ID. I'll just paste experience here. For these, it should be contact. I'll copy contact. I'll come here and I'm going to put it under advanced for the CSS ID. I'll paste that there and I'll just publish. Now I need to go back to the website and reload. Now, one thing I forgot to do is to save the menu. So I'll save the menu. I'll save the menu again, save it, and then go back, reload my page. Now, if I come now and I click on services, you see it takes me to services section. If I click on contact, it takes me to contact section. Now for this footer, I want to give it a top border. So I'll click on it, come to border, and then border type, solid, and I want it to be top border. It should be 1. No, not this, 1. And I want the color to be this purple. This particular purple. I'll copy this and put it here. So I'm going to put the purple there. And if I reload my website again, so you see it shows me a clear demarcation that this is, you see the map now shows. The map now shows very, very well. So this is our website in a nutshell. This is how to create a portfolio website. You can see everything. If you got any value out of this video, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up so that whenever I put out videos like this, you will be the first to be notified. And why not post a comment in the comment section? I'm going to respond. I respond to every comment posted by my viewers. God bless you. Have a blessed week ahead. Peace.